The purpose of this hearing is to discuss many of the issues that are unique to special education finance in our state.
Special education makes up about 750,000 students in California public schools. Most areas of the state have experienced, on the one hand, a decrease in their total student attendance, which means that their total funding under AB 602 has been going down, while at the same time they're experiencing an increase in their special education population. For the most part, that increase has been driven by a single category, which is autism. The number of students in California who are diagnosed with autism has, I believe, about tripled over the last 10 or 15 years. Students who have autism tend to require relatively intensive supports. Those include one-on-one paraprofessional aides, speech therapists, physical therapists.
I do need to clarify some statements you made before. I myself am a health professional who studies epidemiology. Your comments about autism and autism rates, I think, does not accurately reflect the current science. There's a growing body of research showing that the, quote, increase in autism rates is due to difference in diagnosis, changes in the DSM. Actually, it was only in 1991 where the Department of Education, the U.S. Department of Education, actually said the children with autism qualify for special education, and actually we've seen a concurrent rise in diagnoses because of that. Probably, you know, you can talk about different incentives. There's been research done, for example, in England. They've actually gone back and reassessed a sample of the population using a standardized measure of characters of autism, and actually found out that the adults who weren't diagnosed with autism before when they were children, because we had different set of criteria, actually had the same rates as the children. So basically emphasizing that probably those people always had autism, we just had different sets of criteria, and those have changed over time. So when you go and do a standardized criteria and say, we're just going to take a sample of the population and reevaluate them, it's, you know, you get the same rate for older people than as the children. So I think that, you know, that the body of research is moving in that direction. I just want to clarify that statement that you made earlier.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay. Actually, for that, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes.
In the 19 years I've been at my school, we have seen a rapid increase in the number of students with autism and our students with emotional disturbance IEPs that require more coordinated supports and services, yet access to those is challenging.
In Butte County, the rate of students identified as autistic is double the state level, and they have 75% more emotionally disturbed students than the state average.
Worsening the situation is declining enrollment, paired with the increasing enrollment of students with disabilities with higher levels of needs and growing costs. As a result of the way the state funds special education each year, we enroll more students with disabilities, and each year we receive less funding to serve them. My districts have seen a 250% increase in students with multiple disabilities, a 200% increase in students with autism over the past 10 years.
The number of special needs students are increasing in our community and throughout California. We decreased 389 students this year in our total population, but our special ed population grew by 198 students. But our preschool age, we're seeing a high increase in autism, speech, and other health impairments.
The population of special education students in California is growing. In Elk Grove School District, each year, they expand the pre-K autism spectrum disorder program to offer more classes. This year, CSEA's 21st annual, I might add, Paraeducator Professional Development Conference sold out due to its overwhelming popularity. The demand for this conference grows every year. The most popular courses include Understanding Anxiety in Students with Autism, Maximizing Student Engagement, Minimizing Disruptive Behaviors, and Autism Spectrum Disorders A to Z. This year, over 300 paras attended the class on autism spectrum disorders.
We are responsible in special ed from birth to 22. So we have students who don't get a regular high school diploma who need transition services, who need services to become the most productive citizens they can be. And if you look at autism, which used to be considered a low incidence disability and is now at 8% of the special ed population in the state. And we have this burgeoning preschool population that has just exploded across the state.
In the last 10 years, we've had an increase in autism. In 2007, we had 625 students with autism in the 9 districts I have now. Last year, we were up to 1,600. It's a huge increase of over almost 1,000 students with autism.
Your sense is just a lot more kids to take care of with more severe needs. Is that what's happening, or?
In my particular setting, absolutely.
We know from just prior discussions that autism is rising dramatically in this country. We still don't have agreement on why that's happening. You and I had that debate when I got here with SB 277.
This recent trend in autism is not unique to California. In fact, it's not unique to the United States. Most high-income countries have seen the same significant increase over a number of years, and researchers, while they've spent a lot of time on this issue, still appear to be a bit stumped.
The real cost driver is in the area of the more high-severity students, and how to craft a system that's actually going to work on the state level with the size and complexity of our system.